I did my documentary project on McConkey, a skier and a base jumper. There are many ways to ski. There's racing, freestyle skiing, extreme skiing, heli skiing, and many others. McConkey mainly did the three I have pointed out, as well as base jumping. This is a recreational sport, jumping from fixed objects using a parachute to descend safely to the ground. Base stands for building, antenna, span, and earth. And these are just a variety of things people jump off of when they base jump. In McConkey's early days, at 23 months, his dad had him in skis, and many people knew that he was different than most. At an early age, he went to a ski school in Vermont and looked to become an Olympic skier. Unfortunately, that didn't come true, and he wound up at Colorado University Boulder, where he attended school and raced on their ski team, but school wasn't his thing, and he eventually dropped out and began a career as a freestyle skier. During his time, he really never made a lot of money, so he waited tables and delivered pizzas to do what he loved, and that was to ski. There are lots of dangers and risks that come with skiing and base jumping, especially extreme skiing. People tear their ACLs, MCLs, break their backs, break their legs. And in serious cases, there is death. And base jumping is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. It has the highest probability of death among all sports. 43 out of every 100,000 people die from this. Shane was very meticulous and diligent in the way that he planned his jumps and his flips when he skied. He had been doing it for years and had much practice and a lot of skill and talent to be able to do some of the jumps that he did. But as a base jumper, there's much more things to plan for, and it's much harder to plan for because it requires trespassing, and many of the times that you do a jump, it's the first time that you're up in the air to do it. It is illegal in the United States because it does require trespassing. There are places that have it legalized, but because you do have to trespass, you can get in serious trouble for doing so. Skiing is a lot safer than base jumping, and there is much more room for error, and there's much more room to learn, because if you fall, you are landing on snow, and it is like riding a bike. Once you learn, you never forget. I know this from my own experience. I've learned to ski when I was 16. I go back once a year, and every year I can do just as well, if not better, and do harder lines, and I've never forgot how to do it. But base jumping, it can be learned in practice, but there is always failure that can come with that, and there's extreme consequences when you don't do something correctly. McConkey had a huge influence on freestyle skiing. He was one of the first to use fat skis to ride on powder, which are virtually water skis. He was one of the first to break barriers and do backflips off of Squaw Valley's cliff. People who are non-professional athletes can push themselves to be better, as McConkey did every day, and just go out and do something they love and accomplish something every time they go out, because they can look to him and see that he always pushed himself, and you should do the same. McConkey was in love with skiing. He had a huge passion for it. He was going to be poor and chose to be poor because he did what he loved. He was so in tune with what he was doing that every time he went out, he was reaching flow. And that is really hard to do because you have to be so in tune with what you're doing and how you're doing it, and it can't be too difficult, it can't be too easy. And he just knew that every day he could go out and do this. This documentary was very eye-opening to me because I do love to ski, and it's something I have a passion for as well. I know that many other people feel the same way, and they love to ski. Every time I'm on the slopes, there's always so many people out there learning and trying to do their best. And I think that people learn from what he did, his mistakes, how to do things the correct way, how to not do things, what not to do. And I think they learned from this that money isn't as important as we make it. There's other things in life that we have a passion for, that we love to do, that can be more fulfilling than money. Personally, I would love to be able to do and accomplish some of the things that he did, but I know that's out of the question. But I will push myself more to accomplish my goals and get better every day, because I saw this movie and it made me want to get better.